And life can really grind you down, man. They can really, really take you to some dark places. It can put you in positions that you can't even fathom. Welcome to the Against the Herd podcast, the show for high performers who know the mainstream model of health is broken. I am your host, Armando Cruz, and today I want to have a different kind of conversation. Um, it's not about protocols, it's not about performance, uh, it's not even about resilience. But in the real world, not the influencer highlight reel. You don't need another hack. You need something stronger. You need something deeper, something that holds when other things fall apart. And that's something, at least I believe, that something is forged in three dimensions, like faith, focus, and fuel. So we'll kind of throw in the three F's here: faith, focus, and fuel. Um, I come back to these when I'm feeling beat down, um, when my mind is feeling scattered, when life sucker punches you out of nowhere. And today, I want to go deeper in a way to build resilient health, but more from the inside out. Whew. This is one of these that I have to just like. So here's I guess here's the deal. We've been sold the lie, really, that resilience comes from doing more. And you train harder, grind harder, you stack supplements, tighten up routines, and those are great. Like those are necessary. But I see high performers every day who are doing things like that. They're physically fit, but spiritually bankrupt. They're hyper disciplined, but like emotionally drained. They kill it on paper and collapsing in private. Um, Real resilience isn't about that frictionless, perfect performance. It's about your ability to stay rooted when nothing is going your way. Um, and that can be difficult. That can be difficult. I would say it's probably more difficult the more successful you are, right? Because people expect you to continue to succeed. They expect you to have the answers, to be right. And so sometimes it is actually more difficult the more successful. So I want to break down these three levers of faith, focus, and fuel, right? Um, let's start with the one that people avoid, right? Because this is one that few people will actually talk about, and that's faith. And honestly, I'm not here to preach. Like, if you ask me about my faith, I can share with you that. But I'm here to state plainly that if you don't believe in something greater than yourself, you will collapse when your strength runs out. And life can really grind you down, man. They can really, really take you to some dark places. It can put you in positions that you can't even fathom. Your plans will fail. Your routines get disrupted. You'll face moments when nothing makes sense. Um, and in those moments of darkness and those moments of struggle, those moments of uncertainty, you don't need more data. You need a little bit more anchoring. Not a little, in some cases, a lot of anchoring. right? You need peace that doesn't come from protein or it doesn't come from more macros or from a workout. Um, faith, faith, faith is that thing that reminds you that the setback isn't the end. It's just a recalibration. It is the test that burns off the unnecessary. It helps us truly become a better person. And it's not always easy. It doesn't always feel fair, but it's real life. It really is. And I struggle talking with this one about this one, right? Like, because we're talking about those areas, those times in life where things get ugly and everybody likes to shine the light, me included. I love the possibility. I'm a possibilities person. I love, love, love possibilities. And I don't really like to dwell on the bad or on the dark or on the difficult. But I've been alive long enough to see them in myself, to see them in people I love. Um, seeing people that I love take their own lives, see people that I love suffer. And with 100% certainty, without faith, I don't think I get out of that um, better. Do I get out of it? Yeah, maybe I get better out of it. But do I get out of it better? Yeah, I don't think that's the case. And a client of mine, James, he's a chaplain, a pastor, he's an athlete. He's been on this podcast as well. Um, this man exudes energy, exudes faith. And I remember he came to me because, he was training for an event and it was a month before the event and he came in keeled over. He couldn't straighten up. He couldn't bend down to tie his shoes. He was really hurting and he needed to compete at the highest level. And, what I saw from him was not panic. He paused, he prayed, um, he sought guidance, he sought help, and he came back stronger. And he came back stronger. Uh, I mean, he was lifting what he was lifting before. So not from that perspective. He came back stronger in knowing that he was taken to a low place and God raised him back up, right? Um, his faith was unwavering there. It gave him the meaning inside the mess, right? Like there's a saying that says, let your mess be your message. Um, but let your mess bring your meaning, or let your mess bring meaning as well. And so I want to encourage you, first and foremost, first and foremost, um, faith. Don't neglect it. It is a necessity, I would say. If you're a high performer who wants to do big things, because anytime you want to do big things, you're going to ruffle feathers. You're going to be pushing in boundaries that more often than not will mean failure, will mean difficulty for you, for your family, for the people you love. And if you don't have faith, you will crumble. And so, again, I don't want this to feel negative, but what I want you to do is hopefully understand the importance that I've seen with my clients, with with the athletes I've worked with, high performers I've worked with. Faith really, faith moves mountains, as the saying goes, right? If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And so I just want to bring that to light. The second one is focus. Um, Most people think they're burned out because they're doing too much, and that's partially true. Um, but I would say let's okay. Most people think it's because they're doing too much, but what I think is really happening is they're leaking energy because they're focusing on the wrong things. And so it's not that you're doing too much, but you're doing the wrong things that are completely draining your energy. And the things that need your attention can't get the attention that they need. So your attention is fractured. Your mind is juggling like 17 tabs at a time. You can't, the noise is so much that you can't hear what your body is saying. It's craving for you to listen to it. And you can't because there's so much noise. Focus isn't about productivity. It's about alignment. It's about the difference between feeling busy and feeling like you're on a mission. Um, Busy is scatterbrained, it's surface level. On a mission, like you wake up and you can go through a freaking wall. And one of my guests, Valeria, has every reason to feel scattered. Uh, she's had some insane traumas. And if you haven't listened to her episode, I highly recommend it. The one with Valeria Rodriguez. Um, and she was shot. She she had brain injuries. And what what's what stuck with me was her focus. Like she immediately was able to take that situation, consolidate, hey, what matters most? She's intentional about protecting her energy, intentional about focusing on the things that mattered most to her. Um, she was focused on living with intention, not with distractions. Kind of clarity really is very rare. Um, but I think it becomes quite clear when you almost lose your life like that. And so it doesn't come from having fewer responsibilities, but it comes from knowing when to say yes, when to say no. And if you don't define your focus, the world will define it for you. So, like, think of it like this. Eh, It is very easy to be distracted in today's day and age. And without the lack or with the lack of focus, you will easily fall into other people's plans of what's important. Um, I heard a statement or a saying that somebody said to me, email is somebody else's agenda for your life. And so don't check that first thing in the morning. And I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, what? That is, I feel like very, very appropriate. And I was just really mesmerized. I said, if email is that, like, what other things are like email taking, that are other people's agenda for us? Like, other people's, what other people want to focus on and not what you need to be focused on. And I think that's it. Like there are different stages in our life, different season in our life where the focus will shift, right? It's not that one thing is bad and one thing is good usually. It's that where do we need to concentrate our focus? Once we understand that, that's what needs to be said. Like that's where you need to say yes. That's where you need to focus your attention, your energy, your mission around so that you can push through walls. You can get up with this vigor and focus and not be completely drained, be distracted because you are playing someone else's agenda. So the first one was faith, second one was focus, last one is fuel. I know I'm not just talking about food, though that is important. Um, Fuel in this case is anything that restores your capacity for showing up. Like think about that, like that, whatever it is, whether it's sleep, the food, movement, breath work, the relationships. Man, having the right relationships can massively change the quality of your life. It includes play, nature. It includes being still. Can you be shocked how many people train like animals, but never pause long enough to refuel their nervous system? Um, I had a client, Carlos, who was there. He like again doing everything. Like this is the thing is that this is a constant theme. Like if you've listened to any of my podcasts, you're gonna hear me say this phrase is like, and they're doing everything right. Like at least on paper, this is what they've been told. This is what it is. Like he was doing everything right on paper, but he was chronically exhausted, under recovered. He was just kind of like feeling that burnout sensation, no joy. He had no, like, what feel like he never recovered from anything. And so we didn't tweak his training. We added fuel to his training. How do we add fuel? Okay. We dove deeper into his sleep patterns. Um, we dove deeper into breath work so that it can restore his parasympathetic nervous system, allow his body to heal, feel safe, and let go. We started implementing environmental sun, that morning sun, to completely recalibrate his sleep wake cycle and energize him. We started going on, instead of going and doing sprints, we had him doing walks with his kids. And the breakthrough really started happening. And he's like, man, I thought I would be pulling my hair out. I thought I'd be going crazy. But like, I'm feeling this joy, this giddiness of walking with my kids and like doing these things that it's an energy that I hadn't felt in a long time. And that's when breakthroughs happen. When you give the body, the brain, what it needs. Um, the nervous system will give you more output instead of feeling like it's under attack and it has to keep you safe. And so, like I like to say, no fuel, no fire, right? Think about that. And here's Carlos, that he had lost his fire. And now, because we were able to restore, we had to hit that reset. We were able to give him that refuel. He now had this fire for life and he could return doing the things he loved. But what was interesting is that he returned to doing that high intensity stuff he was doing, which was fantastic. But he didn't let go of the things that were bringing him joy. And so now he had this, this, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a continual refueling because he integrated these things in his life and he saw the power that they had. So let's turn this into action now for you, right? Um, how do we start building faith, focus, and fuel into your life this week? Let's start with faith. Um, Set 5 minutes, quiet time, and pray. Maybe you don't know how to pray. Maybe you're like, crap, I don't know how to pray for 5 minutes. I don't even know if I want to pray. Um, Sometimes the most powerful prayer is silence. And so if you're not ready to have a conversation with God, maybe just stay silent and listen for him. See what he wants to share with you. Okay. Give yourself 5 minutes. Silence. Don't be distracted. Do not have the phone with you. Um, Ask, what do I need to release? How can I trust you more today? How can I surrender what no longer serves me? Ask some questions and just listen. 5 minutes, pure silence. But that's where I want you to start. I want you to start with 5 minutes. Focus. Focus is about decluttering, right? Turning off all non-essentials. So start by writing. And I don't want you to do it on the phone. And again, I know for some of you that is going to be difficult because everything you do is on the phone. Let's go analog. Get a post-it note, top three priorities for the day. Um, that would be fantastic if you can start writing that and then plan when you're going to do that. You can put that in your phone, the planning, but first put your top three priorities on a post-it note, then put it in your phone if that's where you put it, or your agenda, or wherever you got to do it. Um, find time. Find time to, whether it's an hour, 30 minutes, where you literally hide your phone. And I say your phone because it's the biggest culprit. It's the thing that most people are holding on to. Like people cannot walk anywhere without holding their phone. In fact, it's so necessary that it's difficult for them to even walk with it in their pocket because it's become like this thing. I need to have it. I need to have it. I need to have it. What if it? So there is that kinesthetic feel that people need to be holding that thing at all times. So I would say find at least 30 minutes, if not an hour, where you can hide that phone. You don't look at it. Um, Whatever's happening will be happening, and you can get back to it whenever you decide. But build those boundaries around that. Fuel, block 30 minutes where you go for a walk. Don't put on headphones on, just listen to your breath, look at nature. Um, Ask, like, what would actually nourish me right now? What would energize me? And and just kind of go from there, right? Do this for 7 days. Track how you feel. Say day one, this is how I felt before. This is how I feel at the end of the day. Uh, like, how do you feel mentally? How do you feel spiritually, emotionally, mentally? I can guarantee you after 7 days, the shift is going to be real. I said shift. Shift. The shift is going to be real. Um, Let me land the plane with this, right? Like we talked about faith, focus, and fuel. Resilience isn't a supplement. It's not a spreadsheet. It's not a 5 a.m. workout. It's the inner system that holds steady when life gets too loud, when the storm is rocking the boat. It's the thing that steadies it. Um, and I can honestly say a system with faith, built with faith, um, protected by focus, and fueled by that restoration, that restorative power is gonna be unmatched. Be intentional with it, design it, practice it, live it. And again, if this is something you'd like help, you need more clarity on, reach out to us. Go to cruisecountry.com. Let's map out this internal system. Go there, Schedule your pain profile analysis. And again, the pain profile analysis could be you are in physical pain, maybe you're in mental or spiritual pain. Like, where are you struggling right now? Where do we need to map out some of these things? Where would you like help? Think of it like that. So it doesn't always have to be the physical pain. Um, Ken, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you listening. I've enjoyed continuing to share these things, share stories, share personal anecdotes. And again, I really hope this has added value to your life. If it has, share it with somebody. Somebody who you think this might be helpful for. Share it on social media. Um, Obviously, the more we can share this, like I do this to impact people. This is part of my mission in life is to serve others. And if there's something here that you felt like could serve somebody else, I would love it if you would share it, right? Um, Again, if you'd like to go deeper, head over to cruisecountry.com, schedule your call. I'd love to be able to serve you. Other than that, stay grounded, stay focused, have faith, and push against the herd.